who know about your capabilities, they will also be very impressed if you have understood what the teacher has told. So where is the thinking on students' part? So thinking is not the student's business. The thinking should be done by the teacher. And do you think teachers think? They only think what kind of jokes to be cracked during the lecture so that the students are not making noise. The attention of the students will be towards me. So I think about those things, right? How to present the things so that the students remain interested for all 50 minutes. It's very difficult, To concentrate on the face of a person like me for 50 minutes, it's a very difficult task, right? All our yoga gurus and leaders they train us to concentrate for few seconds. They say, start with few seconds. You think of an object, whatever object you think, whatever lord or whatever object, some architect, some Taj Mahal or anything. You make some kind of a mental object and just close your eyes and then think on that, and no other idea should come to mind. Right? When you start doing that, they say that, yes, that is meditation and you have to practice that. Alright? So to concentrate on an object, the first thing is close your eyes. And here, all the eyes should be open. With open eyes you have to concentrate, very difficult task. Once my eyes are closed, yes, I am thinking of my object, whatever, Bajrang or something, I am thinking on that. But if my eyes are open, I am looking at some handsome person sitting here, some beautiful girl sitting there, some fan running there, light is there, and walls are there, and someone is speaking, disturbing you, all those things are happening. All those things are happening. With open eyes, concentrate. For how much period? 50 minutes in one go. So it's very, very difficult task, and a good teacher always does something special during the lecture. 50 minutes lecture, 3-4 times he will do something so that all of the students give some attention to the teacher. That's the only thinking part, no science thinking is involved. And it's all written in DJ Griffiths. What I have to think. It's all written in whatever Kuhan Kanoji. It's all written in Rasnik Halliday. It's all written in Goldstein. Well, I don't have to think anything. So the thinking part has been transferred to the book authors. Students don't have to think, teachers don't have to think. And do you think book authors think? If someone has to write a book on trigonometry, he will just take SL Loni and then write a book. Based on whatever is there, you make some changes here and there, make some presentation changes, and the book is ready. In entire system of education in India, this thinking part is missing from everywhere. And therefore science becomes unexciting. Science becomes unexciting. Science is taught as history or some social science type in that manner. The excitement of science, once you start looking into the observations and start thinking on that, trying to look what is the inner consistency, how things are connected to each other, that excitement is absolutely missing from the science education in our present scenario. And hence we are not connected to nature. We do not connect ourselves to nature, because science is the vehicle through which you understand the nature. And science itself has become so boring and frustrating and a burden that you don't want to board in that vehicle. It's a dirty vehicle, right? You don't want to board into that. And therefore you are not able to connect yourself with the nature. And then all varieties of environmental problems, cutting of jungles and water pollution and air pollution and health diseases and everything comes out of that. Once you start understanding science, once you start enjoying science, when you start innovating in science, when you start your own way of looking at the observations, looking at the fact on these facts, and then bringing out the connectivity of that whole thing together with those small number of laws of physics, chemistry and biology, you will be connected to the nature with such a great bonding that all these things will stop. Science has a lot of potential, and science education has a lot of potential, but it is unfortunately it's not explored at all. What we are doing at our level, we are just trying to make some connection of this science education with our real life. From the textbook and from the board. The textbook is also two-dimensional, and this board is also two-dimensional. But the space is three-dimensional. Okay? The nature is three-dimensional. So from the description of three-dimensional objects is being given only through the two-dimensional aids. So we want to break that chain, and we want to bring out our science from that two-dimensional confinements and go into three-dimensional, do science education right in three dimensions. And therefore, we are advocating that science education must go through experiments. Now people say that, even in very big schools and in reputed schools, there are no science laboratories. Even if there are science laboratories, what good they are doing? What good they are doing? If you have 20 experiments in the syllabus and 60 students come in one section in the lab, what is done? Even if there is a very good laboratory or a very good school and very good infrastructure, they will put 3 sets of experiment number 1, 3 sets of experimental number 2, experiment number 3, and so on. They cannot have 60 sets of all 20 experiments. They won't have space to keep those many things. Think of any school, any institution, including our core lab, right? Including our core lab, Physics 101. Varieties of experiments are there, air track and that flywheel and this and that. Varieties of experiments, all are open in one go. 5 sets of each experiments we have in our laboratory. What is happening? In the class is the month of April, and the first chapter of mechanics is being taught. And then on the day when you have to go to the laboratory, you are given potentiometer to compare EMF of 2 batteries. Right? You don't know what Wheatstone bridge is. You don't know how those balance and unbalance and what is all these things. You don't know what that jockey is and what that meter, galvanometer is, because you have been admitted to the college and it's the first month and they have started with mechanics, so they are still talking of x is equal to ut plus half at square and all that. And Wednesday you have lab day, you go to the lab and you are asked to compare the EMF of 2 batteries using potentiometer. Even if there are labs, what is the use of that? It only distracts. Okay? So what we are trying to do is, forget lab. The thing that you are teaching in the classroom, we are going door to door, village to village and school to school and cities to cities, talking to teachers. When you are going to the classroom, there itself you do some small experiment of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, which is directly related to the thing that you are talking. Okay? If you are teaching polarization of light, crossed polarizers and all those things, what is called which law? Brewster's law and all those things. Can't you go with 2 polarizer sheets? And can't you take some kind of a torch with you and pass it through one sheet and then see the intensity, rotate that and put yet another polarizer and then rotate and show the variation of intensity, and it will take 2 minutes only. And after that you start talking of all that E field vector, this side, that side, that side, that side, and all that law of Malus and everything. Immediately those things get related to the phenomena. Right? It's not no more something alien. Immediately it gets connected to this. At class 6 level, if you are talking of pressure, air pressure, water pressure, can't you go with some kind of a bottle or some kind of thing which you can compress and this and that and talk pressure using that? Do a 2-minute experiment in 35 minutes lecture. Then all those equations and formulae which are there, they will start having meaning. And much more importantly, not only that, the understanding of the subject will become better. Once you do the experiment, n number of new questions will start coming up, which cannot come up if you are having a textbook and a blackboard. And once new questions start coming up, from there this training of enhancing science knowledge, not just understanding science knowledge, because that enhancement will come from new questions. If questions do not appear in mind, then the enhancement of science knowledge will not take place. All our discoveries is because of new questions. So that culture of new questions coming up in mind, these experiments have lot of potential for that. So that is the kind of thing we are trying to do, and I am in this game for now about 8 to 10 years. And in this we have developed some 400 such experiments, and the experiments, I do not develop the experiments because I am more busy in preparing my lecture notes so that I can deliver the lecture to the students in a manner so that they give me some kind of appreciation and this and that. The Shiksha Sopan children from our vicinity of this campus, alright, the Nankari, Barasirohi, Lodhar, Tegisaheb Nagar, Naramau, this vicinity of IIT Kanpur, from these villages my team comes. And they are all here, I believe. Deepak Mishra is sitting there, he is from Barasirohi, Atul is there, Ashok is there. So they are all, this is the team which develops experiments, and now they develop new experiments. Okay, they develop new experiments, they will look into the internet and some experiments they will see, they will modify, they will make a setup for that, and they will come to me. चलिए सर आज आपको एक नया एक्सपेरिमेंट दिखाते हैं. They will tell me, and I'll go with them and they will show that this is the experiment they have designed. This new things, making new things, some innovations, some enhancement of the existing thing, that is a culture which has to be inculcated through these interactions. So we have in our inventory some 400 plus such experiments, mostly up to the level of class 12, starting from class 6 and so on. And we are going to different colleges, different cities, different places, and we are talking to teachers there. We are impressing upon them that yes, you are a science teacher, you have a lot of potential, the science has a lot of potential for making all this transformation in society. And the results are there, satisfactory results are there. I started with as one person, and now through these workshops, through these interactions, we have about 20 such people who are independent of me doing what I am doing. Okay, and some hundreds of teachers who are using this methodology in their own school. But these 20 are going to different cities and different places in their respective regions, in Maharashtra, in Delhi, in Chandigarh, in Bihar, Patna, Kolkata. They are doing independent of me such things, going to teachers, training them or impressing upon them and so on. So I am satisfied that at least something has been done. So next about 30-40 minutes I'll show some simple experiments, and we'll try to demonstrate that these experiments are capable of awakening you If you are sleeping, these are capable of awakening. So let's start with something.